Hey folks, once again, my name is Earl Hall. Welcome into Earl Hall Studio. What I'm going to be showing you how to do today is to create your very own great sounding voiceover demo. I want to say this one more time, even though I did say it in the intro. If you're trying to get a demo created for a really high-end project, a national television campaign or radio ad or movie trailer or something like that, you want to make sure that you go into a professional studio and have them create your demo for something that's going to be high end. For most folks, especially those that are brand new to voiceover, you may not have, anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 to get a 1-minute demo created and to go through all of that. I think it is important to get coaching, and at some point you're going to also need to have a professional demo made. But what I want to show you, the reason I want to show you this is because if you're a brand new voiceover artist, a freelancer that's participating on the many different freelance sites or even some of the pay-to-play sites, this is going to be a great way for you to get a good sounding demo done right in your own home studio. And obviously it's going to be affordable. So I just want to put that caveat out there for you. What I'm going to show you how to do is basically create your own demo and the steps you're going to need to go through in order to do that. Now you can use any DAW, digital audio workstation that you like. The steps and the processes are pretty much the same. I happen to be using Adobe Audition CC 2017 for this particular tutorial video. And this is what I use normally on a day-to-day basis for everything that I do in voiceover. One of the first things you want to do is lay down your voice. And I've already done that here, and you can kind of
We asked the second grade class in Brenham, Texas, to tell us what they liked best about Bluebell's new snack packages. They unanimously agreed that what they liked best about Bluebell's new snack packages was what was inside.
Okay, so it's a pretty standard radio ad commercial. With that, I've already processed my voice on this. As you can see, there's no, sound or background noise that's in between anything here. But what I did do is record some background noise on the end here. This is the first step that you want to go through when you're trying to develop your voiceover. You want to make sure that you're using a really good microphone, at least somewhere, in about the $250, $300 range, I think is a good place to start. Even a $100 microphone with the right processing can get you the sound that you need. Fortunately, some of that is going to be made up for basically because we're going to be putting background music in. Now, my microphone of choice is this Neumann TLM 103. This is the standard mic that I use every day. This is a special edition. That's why it's the dark color as opposed to the light color that you normally see from the Neumann TLM 103. I just wanted a dark color mic to fit my studio, so I decided to spend an extra couple bucks and get the special edition TLM 103. But the microphone that you use, with voiceover, it's just like with anything with computer programming. Junk in, you're going to get junk out. So the better microphone you use, the better you understand the microphone techniques, how to use that microphone and how to process your voice is going to be very substantial in the output that you get for the final product. Now, I happen to use Waves plugins for everything that I do, but the standard things that you get on your DAW, your digital audio station, will give you what you need as far as compression, as far as EQ, and things of that nature. I just love the Waves plugins, so it's what I use. Now, in this particular one, the first thing that we want to do is take out background noise. There are a couple different ways that you can do that, and the basic way is you go in and you look for noise reduction and you'll click on the noise reduction process. And basically what you want to do first is, you see all this background noise? You would pretty much highlight your whole audio that you have, but I'm just going to highlight this last little bit here. And you would do a right click and you want to go ahead and capture this noise print. Now that you've got the noise print captured, all you've got to do is go into noise reduction and restoration and go through the process. There's my alarm going off. Thank you, phone. You want to go through the noise reduction process. Now, this little window will pop up for that, and you'll see some different settings you can go through here and there, but pretty much the regular settings are going to work. You can kind of see where I have it set for standard noise reduction as far as how much of the noise I want to take out and how many decibels I want to reduce it by. But I think we'll just go with the default, and we'll go ahead and deal with that. All right, so let's go noise reduction process, and capture noise print, and then we'll go ahead and apply that. And you can see most of that noise just wound up coming out because of the settings that I had on there already. Your noise reduction is going to be key, especially if you're not in a controlled environment like a booth or something like that, which most voiceover artists aren't. I don't operate in a booth. I operate in a treated space that allows me to actually, it's what we call a dead space. There's no echo or noise bouncing off of hard surfaces. I'm surrounded floor to ceiling by soft surfaces, so that I don't get any of that echo effect in there. Now, so I'll go ahead and delete that little part off, but you can see how that works. All right, so now we're dealing with the rest of the audio. The thing that you want to do when you're dealing with audio is you may want to use some light compression, but since the microphone that I use is so good, I basically do what's called a normalize, which is pretty much all that you want. But before I do a normalize, I'll go into my Waves plugin, and you can go into any sort of EQ that you have. And basically, I use a mono because everything you do in VoiceOver is in mono. You don't need to do anything in stereo. And you can see the different settings that I have. Now, what you're going to notice here, this 1, 2, 3, and 4, basically this just represents from my low end, the bass in my voice. And then the high end, you've got the treble in your voice. With VoiceOver, there's not a lot that you want to do with EQ, especially when you have a good mic. Most men want to roll off this lower end, basically to take out that low end from your voice. That's basically all you want to do. And the way that you do that is just by flipping this little switch here until you roll off that. Now, I can use this one and move it around and things like that, but you pretty much want to keep it pretty much where it is. You just want to roll off and lower some of that bass from your voice. Then when it gets up to the higher ends, the mid-range, you just want to do a little bump, not a lot. You just want to brighten it up a little bit. And you're going to see a difference. And what you should do is play around with this, but not a lot of play. There's not a lot of movement that you want to have in your EQ settings at all, because you want as much of your natural voice to come through as possible. So that's why I kind of leave it as it is. And that gives me the sound that I have for my voice the way that I want it to sound.
We asked the second grade class in Brenham, Texas, to tell us what they liked best about Bluebell's new snack packages.
Okay, so you can kind of see that and how that pulls together and how that comes together with that. Then the last thing that you want to do is highlight the whole section, the whole audio section, and you just want to normalize it to -3B. Normalizing takes care of some of the compression, and you can see it didn't move because it's already normalized to -3B. There are a couple spots that may be a little loud, like you see this little peak right here. You can zoom in on some portions, and you can, with Adobe Audition, you can, bring some portions of it down so it's not as loud or whatever. But that's pretty much how it goes, and I want to undo that amplify because I want to leave it just how it is. I like the sound of this audio. But those are the steps the really simple steps that you need to go through in order to make sure that you're going to get a good, clean sound. With anything as far as processing goes, less is more. Trust me on that. Less is more. You don't want to do a lot of processing, a lot of compression, a lot of EQ. You want your natural voice to come through the way that it normally would in any sort of voiceover work that you do. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the multi-track session. Now, this is the audio from my Bluebell, and I've got Bluebell dry voice because it's just my voice there on that. And then what you want to have as well, I got to pick my music, and I think I've got my music over here. I think this is it. I think this is my music. And let's go back and take a listen.
We asked the second grade class.
Yep, that's what it is. Now, what do? When you do any sort of voiceover work, what it is that you want to make sure that you do is have something that's called voice ducking. And you'll notice when I first started this file, the multi-track section, I chose Radio VO with music ducking, basically music ducking. All that means is that you want the music to cut under the voice. You want that music to cut under the voice when that voice starts. Now, here's the thing as well. How do you get the music exactly where it is that you need it? You know, just as far as, I mean, you can, let me do a full screenshot here. You can bring this music in, which is no problem, and cut it off right there. One of the other things that you can do is you can set the music to be whatever length it is that you want. And the way that you would do that would be to enable a remix that's over here in the properties. And so all this is doing, it's analyzing the music track right here to, you know, see what's going on with the music and things of that nature. And it's about 17. Okay, it's saying 30 seconds to go here. I don't want to wait 30 seconds, or do I? I'll wait the 20 seconds to go in there. But what this will do, you can tell, there we go. You can tell the software, okay, this is what, 20 seconds? I want to make this whole thing, let's just call it 0 and I'll say 22 seconds. And boom. And it'll do it. It made the music the length that I want it to make it. You can make it long, you can make it longer, you can make it shorter, but this is a great tool that you can use within Adobe Audition to really get that little bit out of your out of this particular DAW, digital audio workstation. Now, with the music ducking, it's pretty much already done within that. And what you'll hear happen, and let me put on my headphones, let me see if I was hearing this correctly here. And I'll do a little play. Let me go back.
We asked the second grade class in Brenham, Texas.
Oh, it's in my other headphones. Not these headphones, but how is it coming out of these headphones? I'm not getting that. Let's see.
Tell us what they liked best about Blue.
Okay, I'm going to move the voiceover just a little bit.
We asked the second grade class in Brenham, Texas.
Okay, so now with the ducking on this particular one, you want to go to the effects rack and the dynamic processing. Basically, this is how it is. You want to bring that down just a little bit. Let me go for voiceover. All right, I'm going to go back to the default. I like the default better, and I can kind of tell it how much to duck. And you can kind of see that right there. And then you'll be able to tell, once I play this, what that ducking actually does. So go back to the beginning.
We asked the second grade class in Brenham, Texas to...
Did you hear how the music went down lower? Did you hear that? That's really, really important. Take a listen. You'll hear the music loud, and then you'll hear it go down as soon as my voice comes in.
We asked the second grade class in Brenham, Texas to tell us what they liked best about Bluebell's new snack packages. They unanimously agreed that what they liked best about Bluebell's new snack packages was what was inside. Introducing Bluebell's new snack packages. What's best about them? It's what's inside.
Okay, so you can kind of get a good feel for how all of that works, from the processing to the voice ducking. Now, in some of those spots, between like some pauses that I had in there, the music was a bit too loud for me. And so you can play with that dynamic processing a little bit in order to get a little better feel. And you can just kind of bring that up a little bit. In the settings is basically what you want to do. You want to have a higher release time and a higher attack time on that, and that'll make that just a little bit smoother in the process in between those things. And we can go back and we can take a listen to that again with that new attack and release time.
We asked the second grade class in Brenham, Texas, to tell us what they liked best about Bluebell's new snack packages. They unanimously agreed that what they liked best about Bluebell's new snack packages was what was inside. Introducing Bluebell's new snack packages. What's best about them? It's what's inside.
Okay, and there you have it. There it is. When you learn how to use these different processes in your recordings, as far as your voiceover recordings and putting together your demos, there are a couple key things that are important. Obviously, you want to make sure that your voice is laid down well, from the first time, that you've got everything just right. You've removed the breaths out of there, which is really easy to do. You can highlight them and remove them. You want to make sure that you do that in your voiceover. You want to make sure you take out the background noise. You want to make sure you add in some EQ. If you need to add in some compression, basically the normalize should take care of that, especially if you have a consistent voice all the way through. If you have to put on any compression to kind of maybe make things look a little better as far as your wave pattern goes, then you can do that. But less is always more. The less you do, the better in this processing game. Put your EQ on, and then when you get your multi-track session going, doing it with voice ducking so that that music is hard when it comes in and it gets automatically softer. You see, I didn't do any adjustments at all. What I'll do here is I'll let you listen to the completed file. This is the file that I exported for this particular commercial, which is Bluebell, and I'll let you take a listen at that, and you can see how it sounds.
We asked the second grade class in Brenham, Texas, to tell us what they liked best about Bluebell's new snack packages. They unanimously agreed that what they liked best about Bluebell's new snack packages was what was inside. Introducing Bluebell's new snack packages. What's best about them? It's what's inside.
Okay, now I cut that off right there because this is going to be what I use in my demo and how I put that together. And you want to, basically, when you're putting together a demo, you've got clips of each of your different voiceover pieces. Okay, now let's get into some tutorials on how to process your voice. I'd be remiss if I didn't do some of this. So what I'm doing is that I'm opening up a new audio file. I'm just going to call it test. And let's see. I don't know if I have, do I have that Bluebell script? Let me just take a quick look here. I don't, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to start a recording here. Okay, this is Earl Hall doing a tutorial on how to process your voice correctly using Adobe Audition CC 2017. Okay, now you can see that in between I've got some breaths here and things of that nature. Now, this is the raw voice. This isn't using my good mic. This is still using my Audio-Technica 2020 USB mic, but for our purposes here, to show you the process that I go through, this is going to be absolutely great. So one of the first things that I do is I highlight this. I go into my effects. I love this little thing from Waves. As you know, I love my Waves plugins, and it's called Debreath Mono. What Debreath Mono does is it takes out the breaths. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this, and you're going to actually be able to see where the breaths are. I'll start it here so we can go on. Okay, this is Earl Hall doing a tutorial on how to process your voice correctly using Adobe Audition CC 2017. Okay, so now that's the whole process with that. Let me stop this. What I'm going to do is highlight it, and I'm going to go ahead and apply. Now you'll notice that everywhere there was a breath, it took that breath out. You can see that. So now what I'm going to do is, I just love that little plugin from Waves. It just takes the mystery out of taking your breaths out and having to go in and find them and things of that nature. And of course, you can adjust some of the settings, but the standard settings that it comes with usually works just fine. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go to another one of my Waves plugins, and it's going to be the Seagate Mono. Remember, everything is in mono. And what this is going to do is take out the background noise. And what you want to do is I can highlight this, and let me do a repeat on that, and I'm just going to play this portion. This is that noise, this little blue line or whatever it is. That's basically the noise. So what you want to do is move this little needle up to just above where the highest point is of that noise. And what that will do, and okay, I'm going to go ahead. Earl Hall. Let me stop that. I've got that all set. And let me move this over, and I'm going to hit apply. Boom. And it took out that noise, except for that little clip there. And you can go through, there's a little noise here. Basically what I'm going to do is just do a silence on that. And there's a little squiggly line here. This is basically just my little cleanup of the audio track. A little noise there. We can just take that out. And here's another little piece of noise that I'm going to silence as well. All right, and that's pretty much the whole track. You see how easy that was to clean up? And so now I'm going to go through, and now you won't hear any noise with that. Okay, this is Earl Hall doing a tutorial on how to process your voice correctly using Adobe Audition CC 2017. Okay, so that took out all of my little noise that was in the background throughout the entire audio, the whole WAV file. The noise that I took out, it's gone. The next thing that I'm going to do is a little bit of, let's do some compression just to kind of show you how that works. And I'm just going to use the standard that comes with Adobe Audition. And what I want is the single band compressor. And let's see, let's just do it for voiceover. And the settings are just the standard settings. Apply. Now what that compressor did is make everything come together. It made the loud soft and the soft louder. And you can kind of see that. Let me do an undo. And you can see that. You see how that, you've got some high peaks here. Compression basically pulls everything together. And so I'm going to go there again and do the single band compressor for voiceover and apply. Let's see and hear how that sounds. Okay, this is Earl Hall doing a tutorial on how to process your voice. Okay, and you can see how that sounds. Now what I'm going to do, the last part, is I'm going to put a little bit of EQ, always mono. And these are my settings. And again, you want to get your own settings, but these are my settings for that. And then we're going to go to favorites, and I'm going to normalize everything to -3 dB. And I'll probably want to, well, let's take a listen. Okay, this is Earl Hall doing a tutorial here on how. So I want to bring this volume down just a little. There's just too much. You want this. Okay, this is Earl Hall doing a tutorial on how to process your voice correctly using Adobe Audition CC 2017. Okay, in some spots. So I'm just going to reduce that just a little bit more. And that should be perfect. Okay, this is Earl Hall doing a tutorial on how to process your voice correctly using Adobe Audition CC 2017. Okay, so that's it. That's the processing that you want to do on the voice. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this section because I want to give you something to compare that to. And let's just undo everything that we did. Even going back into putting in I had a couple silences there. And undo Debreath. All right, so take a listen before the processing. Okay, this is Earl Hall doing a tutorial on how to process your voice correctly using Adobe Audition CC 2017. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and I'm going to paste the processed piece in. So this is the end piece that's already been processed. That's why I copied it. So take a listen at the difference in the sound. Okay, this is Earl Hall doing a tutorial on how to process your voice correctly using Adobe Audition CC 2017. Okay, so, and let me hear that because I didn't hear it. So I'm going to go back to about right here, doing a tutorial on how to process your voice correctly using Adobe Audition CC 2017. Okay, so you can hear the difference. You can hear the difference in that. And I'm sorry if my headphones, you may have gotten some volume out of the headphones. Anyway, sorry about that. But you can see the difference in how it is that it sounds before processing and after processing. And everything I did was minimal in that. So now, what I want to show you is, let me see here. Let me open up another file. And we're going to go, this is my commercial demo complete. And this is kind of what you want yours to sound like. I think this is going to go a little bit in the red, but that's okay. Just take a listen. This is me putting together my full demo. And the only thing that I did to put together the demo is, and I'll go back to my demo track here. Basically, I just had the finished audio and I just bumped them together. That's basically all I did. So I've got this one from Bluebell. I'll do the music, I'll export it, and then I'll do another demo, export it, and then I just start lining them up right here, side by side, and I export that, and I have one completed file. And so this is what the completed file sounds like. This is my actual demo that's in use right now. And let me put my headphones on so you don't get any feedback from the headphones. So here we go.
Introducing an exciting new vehicle with 2 doors and advanced aerodynamics. But it's not a 2-seater. Standard anti-lock rear brakes and fuel injection. But it's not an expensive European sedan. It's the new Sierra full-sized pickup from GMC Truck. Sierra. Sophistication you've never expected in a pickup. Little Creek Dental offers gentle, state-of-the-art dentistry with several sedation options. Little Creek Dental. Comfortable care in a relaxed atmosphere. We asked the 2nd grade class in Brenham, Texas, to tell us what they liked best about Bluebell's new snack packages. They unanimously agreed that what they liked best about Bluebell's new snack packages was what was inside. Introducing Bluebell's new snack packages. What's best about them? It's what's inside. News Channel 4 takes action and gets results. Every day, our goal is to make our community a better place. And it shows in everything we do. Of course, we give you the daily news, but it's also important to us to give you the good news.
Okay, that's my completed demo, and that's how I put it all together. Doing these demos and understanding the real basics of how to do the processing on your voice, how to lay your voice down, a lot of that comes with coaching. One of the things that I see in many demos that I want to make sure you don't do, if you take a listen or rewind back to the beginning of me playing that my full demo for you, my commercial demo, is that there's different parts of my personality coming out in the different takes. One of the things that I hear so many times from a lot of different people that send me their work to listen to is that they sound the same all the way through. They don't show any of the personality. They may have a good read, but it's boring. Mine could even be better in regards to showing some more of my personality. But these are the clips that I chose to use in my newest commercial demo for 2017. So I hope this was helpful. And I hope that it makes sense. You can rewind this and do different things. You know, there will be opportunities if you need for me to show you how to use different software, especially like Audacity. It's the free software that's out there. Audacity is great. I'll put a link to that free software somewhere around here. And I will also give you a link to Adobe Audition CC 2017. What's good about Adobe Audition is it's on the cloud and you can pay for it monthly. I think I pay maybe 30, 40 bucks for it every month. And I pay another $9 or $10 a month to have access to my Waves plugin. So I don't purchase anything, but I'm paying a monthly fee for it. But I get enough voiceover work where, it covers itself and it goes on my expense part of my taxes. So I get to deduct that and things of that nature. I sincerely hope that this helped you and kind of demystified some of the things that you may have been confused about in creating a demo for yourself. Again, this is not for the newbie to go out and try and get a movie trailer. This is not it. This is not how you want to create a demo so that you can get a national ad campaign, even though you might, if you do it, in practice and, get these steps down and really know how to process your voice. It's going to be different for different voice types, especially from male to female, different ethnicities, different accents, things of that nature. And I'm talking specifically about EQ. You want to make sure that you get the EQ right for your particular voice. If I can help you create your demo, I've got that available as well. If you want me to listen to your demo, take a listen to it and give you some information back on it, I can do that for you as well. And all of that information is somewhere around wherever you're watching this video. So I hope this helps and good luck to you in your voiceover career. You have a great day.